there, laser leaders. So good having you here again. I would like today in this short video to talk about some of the core questions that kept coming up during the conference last weekend and also afterwards, because a few of you have written back to me and I've spoken to a few of you, and there's some highlights there that so many people have said, oh my God, that was amazing, like as a concept, but I still don't feel like I got it. You didn't go deep enough, or it didn't resonate for me. Yet I know that it's important. So can you please tell me more about that? So I thought that I would cut each of these subjects into a separate video, separate title, so we can focus on one thing only, get that done, move on to the next subject, so we can go deeper and with real life examples. Now, the core subject I want to talk about here today is the law of vibrational equilibrium and the 3 sub-laws that come underneath it, which is how we all behave. Now, I'm not going to talk about the science or the physics and all that stuff. I hope you got enough of that, and there's always more and more. Maybe I'll do that in a separate video. I'm talking here about how we relate to each other, how we communicate, how lack of communication happens, how expectations happen and lack of meeting expectations, what does that mean, and all these things. It's all based on how we feel, which means how we behave and how we perceive and how we communicate that with other people and how it all resonates or doesn't resonate. This is what I'm going to come to. Because the most important thing at the end of the day, whether it's at home or in a family or in a society or of course at work, especially as professionals who are always in service to other people and working with other people. So you're working within a team, you're part of a team, and you're there to serve other people who have totally different levels of vibration, levels of understanding, levels of expectations, different needs, and all these things. We need to be aware of how does this whole thing work, so that I can then, when I'm more self-aware, it's all about self-awareness at the end of the day. When I'm more self-aware, then I can become more other-aware, and therefore more collectively and spatially aware of how to behave, how to modulate my behavior, to connect with others and serve them the way they're vibrating and the way they're feeling. And when also, which is very important, when to feel or when to understand that feeling that it's time to cut this off. This is not going anywhere. Maybe we don't need to do this. I can't serve you. I can't help you. I'm so sorry. Please go find service or love somewhere else. So because of this importance, this core value of our connectivity to others, I want to start with that subject here. And that, in short, is the law of vibrational equilibrium. Acronym is L.O.V.E. L-O.V.E. That is intentional. That's the way I define things. I define words and I define meanings, as I said before, meanings behind words, so I can work with them. And the laws, or the sub-laws, actually the sub-modalities within that law, are different states that all belong to that law. I'll go into them and with analogies in a minute. However, probably you're thinking, so if that's what you want to talk about, why is this picture there? What is that doing? Now, other than my love and appreciation for the hero, the human hero that I consider Muhammad Ali to be, and the value of this amazing piece of memorabilia that I own of his, this is not the reason I'm showing you that there. The reason I've put it up is because in real life, there is no point in time on a day-to-day basis in relationships in general that we need to relate to each other in a way that's expressed here in this picture. In sports, for a winner to win, there must be a loser. In any sport, collective sport like football and basketball and whatever, or in individual sports like obviously any fighting sport or even tennis. We understand that. Winner, loser. For somebody to win, somebody has to lose. I understand that that's sport. Real life, however, is exactly the opposite of that. It's all about win-win. If there's no win-win, there is no relationship. That's how it works. If I'm out there to win over people, to beat people so I can be the winner, so I can overpower or overshadow somebody, that's not the way it works. That's not what we get paid for, get loved for, get respected for, get grace and gratitude for. And really, at the end of the day, that's all we're here to do. To serve each other, like we said at the course, our core purpose is to serve other humans, to serve humanity, and get served by other humans. That's simply what it is, the core purpose of any human, the big why. Therefore, it comes to the conclusion that life is the opposite of sports. It's not a race against each other. It's a journey of one race together, not a race against each other, because there can't be any winner or loser at the end. We all have to win together. The more I can understand that, comprehend myself, become more self-aware, comprehend others, become other aware, and therefore collectively spatially aware of where I am and how I'm feeling and how they're feeling, and modulate that. Frequency modulation, that's what we talk about in science. Or moderate that scenario. The better communicator, the better connector, the better influencer that I become. I get into their flow and change that flow for everyone's benefit. That is how you win. So let's take this photo off, because that's why I put it there, just as a contrast. This is beautiful, means a lot to me, but it's not the way life works. All right, so let's get into the law of vibrational equilibrium, where everything in the universe, that's a fact, this is not an opinion, this is not about humans only, this is about everything. Everything in the universe vibrates at some kind of energetic vibration. We call those frequencies. Different frequencies, different levels of energetic vibration. Because everything is energy and everything is in a constant state of motion. That we know. The law of vibrational equilibrium states that because everything is vibrating, and everything, I mean everything in the universe and every no thing, really, things we know, we don't know, we'll never know, all of it is vibrating at different energies, all collectively put together in a state of equilibrium. Otherwise, the whole thing won't work. Equilibrium means that there's different states of vibrations, but they all coexist together, just like we do as humans, coexist together despite all those different states, because they're necessary variations of the same overall state of total equilibrium. So in human vibrations, what do we talk about? The sub-laws, sub-modalities, or different states below that law. There's either a state of, well, number one, there's a state of coherence. A state of coherence is when two identical frequencies. Now in laser science, that's how lasers actually work. They're one frequency vibrating exactly the same way in synchrony and harmony and in coherence. And when those two photons actually, or those two waveforms, because they're identical, when they come together, they amplify each other. So in coherence with humans or between humans, when two people are vibrating at the same frequency vibration, and we don't talk in numbers when it comes to humanity, we talk in feelings. How do I know what's my frequency of vibration? There's no number to it. You can never figure out a number. It's not core science and physics. This is a feeling. How am I feeling right now? And then how am I feeling that the other person is feeling? And can we connect or not? Most of it happens subconsciously, but you can increase your intuition. You know, animals, I was asked this question at the course, are animals not aspirational and have the same characteristics like humans? Absolutely not. Animals behave by instinct, fundamentally, and they can't change that. They don't aspire to be anything different. They don't aspire to change their frequencies, and they don't have intuition like we do. We modulate our instincts with intuition and with higher aspirations, but through this concept of self-awareness. So when I feel in coherence with somebody else, what that means is, for some reason or another, at this moment in time, intentionally or unintentionally, we're vibrating in synchrony, in harmony, which means our waves, I'll use a different pen for that. So one wave is like this, one waveform is like that, the other one comes along, and their waveform is exactly the same. So they synchronize in coherence. What does that do when these two combine? They amplify each other. So coherence amplifies. Amplify, multiply. So it's the same increased and multiplied. Same wave, same frequency, same energetic vibration, same behavioral patterns. In the course, you've seen me and our lovely friend Orlando. We have been in coherence since the day we met. That's why we can talk over each other and still get what the other person is saying, because we don't have to hear with our ears when we're in coherence. I just feel what he's going to say. I can finish his sentences, he can finish my sentences. Even in front of the audience, he could tell me to be quiet and finish my sentence, and I'd smile, and I could just jump over his words and finish his sentence, and he'll still smile. You can do such things when you are in coherence with that other person. However, you can't jump over a person, tell them to shut up, tell them to be quiet, either one-on-one or in front of others, when you are not in coherence, when you are in resonance, which is the second law. So the law of resonance. When you're in resonance with someone, it means your frequency vibrations are different. So one is faster, one is slower, whatever. However, these two frequencies, these two feelings, states of being, states of emotional being, when they come together, they create a new melody. They resonate, they gel together to create a new melody. Exactly like piano keys. There's certain keys that when play, different keys I'm talking about. You play one, you play the other, and you go, wow, these just blend and they create this beautiful sound, this harmony. While if I play this exact same one, but I go one key forward, there's a disharmony. That's a sound, weird sound. Let's not play that again. So different frequencies, some of them synchronize and go in resonance with each other, or they're asynchronized, if you want to call it so, and they create a disharmony basically. So what's the word for resonance, or how to describe resonance? It's harmony. Melody. Yet the frequencies are different. Running out of space there. Different frequencies. Example. One waveform is going like that. This is very crude example here if you just want to see the diagram. The other one could be there. Different frequency, you can see shorter, longer wavelengths and all these things. However, when it happens that these two come together in resonance, they create a melody, they create beauty. Guess what's the most common example of this in everyday life? Marriages. Most marriages that do work over the long period of time, because obviously most marriages that work over a long period of time are actually states of resonance. Now, it doesn't mean to say that human beings are always in the same state all the time. Of course, we change our vibrations, but we need to be aware of when am I feeling what, when do I need to change what, and also when do I need to modulate my behavior and frequency vibration for that other person in front of me to connect with me, and then we go together. So in marriages, resonance is what we call love. All of these are states of love, including the third one, which I'm going to come to. They're all states of love. They all coexist equally and omnipresent at the same time all around the universe. It's just which one am I where and when with whom, that's what matters. So in a marriage, you need that complementary other that complements you. They have different frequencies, different habits, different ideals and goals even, but when you come together, you form this new offspring of melody and harmony that creates this new thing now, that's more than the sum of you two alone, called a marriage, a life together. So that's what resonance is: harmony, melody, two different frequencies coming together. If these are too different or too distinct, they just don't work together, then there is disharmony, no resonance. Now the third one is the law, any of these I could call law of resonance, law of coherence, or states. This one I'm going to call it law of dichotomy. The law of dichotomy. Dichotomy comes from Greek cut away from. So a dichotomy is two equal opposites that coexist at all points in time in the universal image, in the universal picture. So equal opposites keyword here is opposite. Yeah. That cannot be described easily in waveform, because like I said, some waves, well, if they're the same and they come together, then amplify anyway, that's coherence. If they're different, you wouldn't know which one is different when, that resonates with what. You just come to it and you modulate it until it gels. That's self-awareness again. The last one would be best described as a line. Positive, negative. That's the best way to describe the law of dichotomy. No matter a magnet, let's say, for a magnet to exist, it has to have two poles, positive and negative pole. Now, there is no positive and negative on them. That's humans who put those numbers there. It's just a way for us to describe equal opposites. If you cut the magnet here, there's a positive and negative there. If you cut it here, there's a positive and negative here. If you extend this longer and longer and longer, there'll always be a positive and negative. You cannot change that fact. You cannot unchange the fact the laws are always there. It's just how do we use them, when do they apply, when do we fall under another category, but they always exist. So if the magnet is positive and negative, that means the longer I make it, the less the impact of each side is on the other, but they still coexist. What does this mean in human relationships? If my state of vibration, if my state of feeling, my state of being, my desire to act in a certain way is totally non-resonant, can't be brought to coherence with somebody else in front of me, then I'm going to raise a question. Is this relationship necessary? Do I have to make this work? Which means, if yes, it means that because I can only change me, then I have to change my frequency vibration, my state of feeling, my state of being, to be able to either go into resonance with them or coherence with them so we can get something done. Second option, and if I can't do, either you can't do this or it is not necessary to continue this relationship, I don't have to serve everybody. I don't have to live with everybody. Yet they all have the right, just like I do and you do, to exist, and we all need to coexist and do our own things. So therefore, this is when you know this is not working. Can we respectfully just do our own thing? You do your thing, I do my thing. Maybe I can't serve you, Mrs. So-and-so or Mr. So-and-so, in my practice, in my professional service or whatever, because we're not connecting here. I'm not getting what you're expecting, or any of these beautiful words that you can put in to meaningfully let them know I respect you too much and I respect your right to get the best, but it's not going to happen through me. That's respect, actually. So let them go, increase that distance between you two, let them go to somewhere where they will be in harmony resonance with somebody else, because there must be that other person, those other people actually, who will be here with them. They can do a much better job with them and for them than you trying to meet everybody's needs. Of course, this goes with relationships at home, in the office, in the clinics, on the street, really just everywhere. If it's a mother or a father or your son or your daughter, and you're feeling this state of total disharmony, non-resonance and all that, you're feeling this dichotomy, they're just total opposite to me. You've got to ask yourself, is this necessary, this relationship? And the answer, of course, is yes, if they are your immediate family. Of course it's a necessary relationship to continue. Therefore, I'm not going to cut away from them. I'm going to try to come closer, but you can't come closer here. I'm going to try to shift to get in flow with them so I can then become more influential, more useful to them, and then they can connect with me because then they'll feel me. That's why I keep asking in the courses, do you feel me? Because it's more important than whether you hear me, because it doesn't resonate always what we hear, but how we feel about it is what resonates. So you change your vibration until you get in some form of working relationship with them, and then you can coexist and co-serve each other. Versus here, where if I feel it, either let it go or change. That's the advice. You change up to here or you let it go. I can't say it any clearer than that. That's the dichotomy. But know, feel, accentuate your own self-awareness and perceptual awareness and understanding. Do more learning, do more coaching, do more internal focused meditations, whatever you want to do. There's a lot that I've done myself and I teach as well to be more aware of all these. That's why I came up with these laws. I came up with these words myself to describe the law as I see it. The words are not new, but the meanings and the way it's put together is new. So hopefully that makes sense to you and you understand, or at least see in your mind's eye, as you remember, the mind's eye is the sphere actually. Some places where you're in coherence with other people, certain people, just have that image of that person in your mind right now. Who in your life are you in resonance with? And who in your life at this moment in time? I'm not talking forever and ever, because like I said, they change, we change, things shift. At this moment in time, who are you in dichotomy with? And then is it necessary for us to change and shift? Or is it more important and more valuable to say, let go of each other, That's also love. This is all love. All of these are love, states of love, universal love. Always, that law is unchangeable. I did not create it, neither did you, neither did anyone else. That's the way it is. The law of vibrational equilibrium. All of this is love. All of it exists. My choice is, where am I when, with whom, what do I need to do to amplify, to get in harmony, or to move away from. Hope this makes sense. Until I see you next time, have a great day, and always aim to look better, feel better, and be better. Thank you.